the missus decided that we were going to go to Kinmen for a short break, just for 3 days and 2 nights. And Kinmen is geographically closer to China than Taiwan, but it does belong to Taiwan. And the only way you can get there from the main island of Taiwan is by flying. You can't take a boat. I presume it's because it's just too far. And Kinmen is just over the water from Xiamen in China. So the reason we wanted to go to Kinmen is because Kinmen is famous for old traditional Chinese Minnan architecture, military history and birds. And we just decided to kick back and relax on this flight, enjoy Taiwan's amazing views and scenery, because the day was so clear you could see for miles. It roughly took 1 hour, so it was just a short flight and we were there in no time. And well, this is our trip to Kinmen, and we're going to get into it and show you what Kinmen has to offer. Right, the first stop I've come to in Kinmen is called Oucuo Beach, and I've come here to look for a tank that is sunk in the beach. We've got an old tank somewhere and I'm going to go and look for it. Right, we're walking to where the tank is, and my missus looked up to see what are these crawling all over the beach. You see all these little holes? Well, inside these there's something called a hermit crab, and they keep popping their little heads up and sprinting across the beach, and there is absolutely hundreds of them all down the beach. If you can see something on the beach moving, that is the hermit crab, and it is like lightning. I found the tank now. The tank is submerged in sand, and it was a shooting range target in the 1990s and has been left here ever since. And I saw it online and I want to go and check it out. I eventually found the tank that is submerged in the sand. This has been left here since the 1990s, where they had a shooting range and they would use this tank as target practice. And this has been here ever since, and now you get to see it on the beach like this, which is pretty cool, and it's like a relic. Alright, now I'm walking around the tank. If anyone can tell me what kind of tank it is, let me know. You can see it's really submerged. So we walked all the way down that beach there, and this is at one end. Now we're going to head all the way back. I'm nearly back to my scooter now, and I just wanted to tell you that this submerged tank, this sunken tank in the sand, this is at Oucuo Beach, Oucuo High Tide. So if you want to find it, it is on Oucuo Beach. We decided to stop in this little village called Shuitou Village. We stopped here because it's got all the Minnan buildings with the Minnan architecture, and this in Kinmen is one of the places where you can see these kind of villages. Kinmen is really famous for it. This is a building built by the Huang family, and this fella got rich by doing business, and then he built all this, and this was the highest building in Shuitou Village, and this is called Oucuo. Okay, my missus is helping me pronounce the names. Walking around here, you wouldn't think that this is Taiwan. It feels totally different with the architecture. So it said online that these rich people, they did business with lots of different cultures, and then they brought this culture into their architecture. So when you see like the different things they put on the buildings, they apparently were inspired to do this by other countries, and they wanted to try and make like a European style. This is Minnan architecture, and Minnan is the southern part of China, and it's basically Fujian. The building in front of me has one of the prominent features of Minnan architecture. You see how the roof is curved like that? That's called a swallowtail roof, and this is a prominent feature in Minnan architecture. You see the blue section here. Inside the blue section, they've stuck some porcelain feature. This is another prominent feature of Minnan architecture. They would stick these porcelain designs on the building, and then each building would have like their different design. The next spot we've stopped at, this was a military headquarters during the Qing Dynasty. The Qing Dynasty is one of China's famous dynasties, and this was used as a military headquarters. So this is an open square yard here. In all the movies showing old Chinese war movies, they always have a big square like this where they amass the troops, and then the emperor of the dynasty, he's standing on the steps telling them what's going down, who they're going to war with and all that. That's what happens in the Chinese historical war movies anyway. Maybe it's not true to what really happened. Now we're in the main hall. This guy looks like he's ready to get the business done. Got the weapons over there, look. The pikes. Wow. Guess you're not allowed to touch it. It's a halberd and a pike. That one's a squiggly pike, that. At the back of the military building, they have this tree, and it's 100 years old, and it is huge. All trees like this are absolutely mega. Got ropes keeping it up, can you see? The tree trunk, the branch is that big. The branch is bigger than some trees. That branch could be a tree on its own, couldn't it? It's huge, that. It's not 100 years old. It's over 100 years old. My apologies. I have been corrected. Here's the army gear that they used to wear. Fighting in that must have been a disaster. I can't imagine you'd be very flexible. This street, it was used in a movie called Paradise and Service, which was made in 2014, and it's a Taiwanese historical film that was set in Kinmen, here in Kinmen, and it's based in the 1960s and the 1970s, and the story revolves around a military brothel. And so this street, this was designed to look like that time period, but now the shops here, they have decided to keep the set and maintain it and keep it as it is, as like a tourist attraction. So that's why we've come here, and it's a really cool place to see. It really feels like you're in the movie. So this was basically made as like the little town, and these were the shop fronts. It's good that this little street has decided to basically keep the movie set. It's like actually being on the set of the film, this. I love it, it's great. They have a lot of murals on the wall, but the lane is so narrow I cannot get it all. So I'm gonna go down so you can see the mural, because it's so cool. Can't get far back enough because the lane is so narrow. So this is from the movie set, really. And you can see the lane is narrow, that's why I can't get far back enough to show you well. Okay, my missus just told me this says "Long live President Chiang" on the wall of this building here. This area with the shops and things from the movie, this is just one small section of the street, but I think it's really great to visit because they've kept it exactly the same as the movie, so you do feel like you're still in the movie set. I think they also used this building in the movie that this area is famous for, but this is like a little theatre. I just had a look inside and there's a stage. It's like a little theatre. So that was pretty much the end of our first day in Kinmen. At this point we were hungry and exhausted from the heat, so we just went and got some food, and then after that we went back to our B&B and decided to call it a night. And we had a great first day in Kinmen. We saw a lot of things, and after that we were exhausted and we were out like a light. So I hope you enjoyed the first video, and I end it there, and I'll see you next time.